Last season, Alabama and Georgia met in Tuscaloosa in a matchup of undefeated teams. The Crimson Tide stormed out to a 28-7 lead, only for Georgia to come all the way back and take a lead. But one play from a then 17-year-old saved Alabama, who went on to win the game. This now 18-year-old made Georgia rethink their entire offensive approach. Gus Malzahn's offense gave Alabama defense trouble when he was coaching at Auburn University. Today, he did the same thing, but this time for a team that went 2-10 last season. College football is back, and Week 2 looks to be just as chaotic as Week 1. Last week, we saw the Texas Longhorns take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. This week, we get to see their arch rivals face off as the Michigan Wolverines travel to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. It was a long road to recovery for Staten, but he finally feels like he's back to his old self after hitting a 3-run home run against Auburn and a 2-run home run against Southern Miss on Tuesday. According to Sports Illustrated, Vanderbilt has the 5th hardest schedule in the country, with trips to Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Alabama. The Commodores and its quarterback are not backing down from the competition. Auburn will be facing a Missouri team that has not left Columbia all season. Currently, Missouri is a slight 1.5-point favorite in this Tiger Bowl, but the home crowd at Jordan-Hare Stadium might provide the edge that Auburn needs to secure a victory. That'll do it for Around the SEC. For Football Friday, I'm JD Zasa. It's Alabama Day at SEC Media Days. I'm joined by defensive lineman Tim Keenan. Tim, you're going into a bigger role in leadership. How excited are you to take on that big role?
Oh, it's definitely an honor and a privilege. It's the biggest thing ever, and with that, I make sure I pray to God and make sure I order my steps in His Word to lead His people. So I make sure I put my best foot forward for my guys and also for the program.
Last season didn't end the way you hoped. What has Coach DeBoer's main message been this entire offseason to the entire team?
Just really just finishing going 1-0 and executing throughout the whole game, playing the full 60 minutes, not having a great half or just a great quarter, but having a great 60 minutes or further than that, just playing the whole game.
And final question, what can Alabama fans expect from Tim Keenan this year?
My absolute best. That's all I can say. I know words can only mean so much and do so much, but to the fans, I'm going to do my best and put my faith in God and have fun in Bryant-Denny and other places.
Thanks so much for your time, Tim. We'll have more Alabama coverage throughout the entire day on WVUA 23 Sports. SEC Media Days just wrapped up day 2, and the final team to go today, the Texas Longhorns. I'm joined today by CJ Vogel of On Texas Football. CJ, what was some of your big takeaways today from the Longhorns?
Yeah, I think you have to start with Arch Manning and some of the expectations, the hype. Obviously the media train, the buzz that goes around it, it is magnified today. Here at SEC Media Days, I think a lot of folks are, one, anticipating what Arch will look like on the field, but two, they want to hear from him. Because quite frankly, haven't seen him a whole lot behind the microphone, and to get that little taste of what's to come this fall, I think was pretty exciting. But on top of that, a bit more questions were answered today about Arch and what's to come this fall. I think he's got a great personality, and I think he goes about it the right way in the sense that it doesn't feel like it's too big for Arch, right? I think for a lot of quarterbacks, especially first-time starters, especially in the SEC, lights might get pretty bright at times, but for Arch, with the family last name, this is stuff that he's been expected to overcome and deal with and really be a part of, and he embraces it and does very well in the bright lights, I would say.
This is not just a one-man team. Texas is also returning some other players, including Anthony Hill and Michael Taft today. CJ, what did you think from Anthony Hill and Michael Taft today, and how is that defense going to help out Arch Manning?
Yeah, I think the defense is going to be the strength of the Texas team. And look, Anthony Hill, Michael Taft, 2 second-team All-Americans from a year ago as well. They're going to be the heartbeat of that defense. Michael Taft, again, I think he embraces what it means to be a Texas Longhorn very well. He encompasses the university, the pride of Austin, Texas very well. It's something that I think Texas is very fortunate to have him represent their university. And on the field, he's a pretty darn good football player as well.
Last season, Texas made the semifinals just to lose to Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. CJ, do you think that Texas this year, under a new quarterback and with some experience on defense, do you think they could get to that next level and finally get to that national championship after 2 years of knocking on the door?
Yeah, they've been close. I think that defense is going to be at a level in which they can get to the national championship. It will be about the offense. It will be about if Arch Manning lives up to the expectation. It will be about if that offensive line, which is brand new, can get them to where they want to go against some really talented SEC teams. But all in all, that's a talented football team. And going into the year, I would expect them to be certainly in that conversation to make it over the hump this year.
Thank you for your time, CJ. We'll have more coverage from SEC Media Days tomorrow and the next day. More on WVUA 23. No one knows what can happen in a year. This time last year, Alabama linebacker Deontay Lawson thought he would be getting ready to start his NFL career. After suffering an ACL tear in November, he had to put the NFL on hold. Alabama now has a two-time captain in the middle of its defense.
Seeing him attack it, seeing him and his mindset, him understanding the circumstances he can't control and what he can. Oh man, it's just amazing seeing him take over not just the defense, but be a leader on our football team.
You know, it kind of made me just want to dig deeper in, life after football, or some goals after football.
Lawson's road to recovery has been a long and painful process, but having his support system around has made it just a little bit easier.
My family, them being my support system, them driving down to Tuscaloosa whenever they need to. Obviously, it's rough. Every day is not going to be pretty. You're going to have your days where you don't feel like doing it, but this is what I got to do.
Before getting injured, the two-time Butkus Award semifinalist had the second most tackles on the team, despite nearly missing the last 4 games. Lawson, when he arrived in Alabama, had the ultimate goal of winning a national championship, just like the classes before him. Now he has one final opportunity to achieve his goal. Reporting from the Omni Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia at SEC Media Days, I'm JD Zasa, WVUA 23 Sports. For the first time since 2001, Alabama has lost its season opener. The Florida State Seminoles in the newly renovated Doak Campbell Stadium beat Alabama by a score of 31-17.
We had opportunities there in the second half, but we gave them life. We gave them hope and confidence in the first half there. And then what it does is it puts you in a spot where you got to be perfect.
One of the key factors in the loss, quarterback Thomas Castellanos. Another, an old enemy of Alabama. Gus Malzahn's offense gave Alabama defense trouble when he was coaching at Auburn University. Today, he did the same thing, but this time for a team that went 2-10 last season. The Florida State offense ended the day with 230 rushing yards and 152 passing yards. Despite this performance by Alabama, the team still believes all their goals are still attainable.
We just can't be happy with one, 8-minute drive, and just can't be happy because we're Alabama. Like, we have to earn this, and we're going to earn it, and we're going to make sure that we go back to work, and we're going to practice our tails off, and we're going to work our tails off to get this thing.
With the expanded college football playoff, teams with 1 or 2 losses have a chance to win a national championship. The only thing Alabama can do right now is get ready for Louisiana Monroe. Reporting from Tallahassee, Florida, I'm JD Zasa, WVUA 23 Sports.
Well, Football Friday comes your way tomorrow night at 10:30. Our game of the week is a bragging rights battle. Gordo at Pickens County. WVUA 23's JD Zasa has a preview.
The 8-Mile War rivalry between the Gordo Green Wave and the Pickens County Tornadoes turns 100 tomorrow night, and emotions are running high on both sides.
It means everything. Gordo is one of those games that you really dislike the other team. Like, there's very few games where you go in and you just honestly just dislike them. Gordo is one of those teams.
I want to win it for these kids who grew up here. Their cousins are on those teams. Our rosters look very similar. You see a lot of the same names on the roster. So I want to coach harder for my kids, and I want to win for those guys.
Currently, the Green Wave are on a 10-game winning streak, which is the longest in the century-long rivalry. The last time Pickens County won the 8-Mile War was in 2013. Later that season, the Tornadoes won their first and only state championship. For the Tornadoes to end the streak, Coach Williams leans on a motivated senior class.
Sunday, watching film, first thing that came out of our senior Jaquarius Cohen's mouth was, I haven't beat him in my 4 years. So he understands the magnitude of this game, and once he understands it, the whole team will understand it.
Emotion doesn't win ball games, execution does. So we just go out there and execute and do what we do, and it doesn't matter how hungry anybody is, except for the 22 guys that are on the field at the time.
Pickens County is currently 2-3 this season, but Coach Williams states that one spark can turn the season right around. What a spark it would be if the Tornadoes can upset the Green Wave and end the decade-long winning streak. Reporting from Pickens County High School, I'm JD Zasa, WVUA 23 Sports.